Joined now by Ryan Walters, Purdue coach here on Kings of the North. Ryan, thanks for your time, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So you guys got after it in the portal this offseason. What was the thinking, the strategy, the approach after year one at Purdue of how you guys wanted to go about that?
Yeah, well, you go through year one and you really identify the holes you have in your roster and where you need to attack, based on positions of need. And then it was, okay, well, how do we bolster those roster numbers and get guys that can go compete and win games in this conference? And so then we started raising money and got some pretty significant donations to our collective from an NIL standpoint, and then identified, who would fit at Purdue from a culture standpoint and from an athletic standpoint, and then recruited our butts off and got all the guys to enroll in January.
What's it like going into the portal for guys like that? We know you got a bunch of guys from Georgia, and you really got some good players in the portal. I mean, you've got to sell them a vision, right? Because we understand year one is you don't come in and snap your fingers.
Right.
What was it like trying to communicate that to guys looking for a new home?
It was fun to do so. You paint a picture of how you see the program progressing and what their role in that progression is going to be. And then you just try to be as genuine and honest about the opportunities and about the roster and how it is and what we're capable of doing. And so I felt like we strategically attacked the transfer portal with precision, and I'm really happy with where we're at.
How much, when you take over as a new coach, how much of your vision, what you want a program to be, are you able to implement in year one? We know it's not everything.
It's hard in its totality, right? Like you walk into a new building and it's got old sayings on it and old slogans and pictures of yesteryear, right? And so just getting the building to aesthetically look like we are now, changing the uniforms to signify like a new era, you know what I mean? And then obviously, just getting to know all the departments surrounding the playing field, whether it's academics or equipment or, athletic training and, sports med and all that kind of stuff. So, just getting those departments to run the way you feel like a championship level program would run. And then now trying to get the football to look like a championship level football. That takes time, but I like where we're at in the track we're on.
When you're changing the slogans, how do you decide which slogans you want to put up? You're like a slogan guy to help you, or what do you do?
I mean, you just what you believe in. You do what you believe in. I have been fortunate to be one of those guys that knew what he wanted to do when he grew up at a young age, and so I've known I wanted to be head coach for a long time. So I've been preparing for this moment for years, and so it wasn't like I killed the interview and got the job and it's okay. Oh shit! Now I got, excuse my language, but oh crap! I gotta figure it out. You know what I mean? It was more got the job and now let's go execute the plan. And so that's what we're in the process of doing.
When did you start thinking about the real implementation of being a head coch? Like how young were you when you really started? Right, you had a binder, right? What do you have? A file on your computer?
Yeah.
You had stuff, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I started thinking about it when I was 22.
You were a mature 22-year-old, man.
My first staff meeting, I'm watching, the head coach conduct a meeting, and I'm like, I want to sit in that chair one day. So the moves I've made have been strategic in my career with that thought in mind. So you pay attention to every program you're part of, the good and the bad. What you would do, what you wouldn't do. What success looks like, and if there is failure in the program, like why do you think it failed? What is the chemistry and camaraderie look like on good teams, and what does it look like on bad teams? And what does discipline look like and that fits your personality, and all those things. Who you would hire, who you would work with again, who you wouldn't. You were always. I was always evaluating and always taking mental notes on the things that I liked in certain programs and the things I didn't, and how they translate in today's Athletics.
How old are you now?
38.
38. All right, 16 years from sitting in the meeting, thinking about it. You made it happen when you were 37. Like, that's good advice, right? You're 22 years old. You're starting your job. Envision where you want to be in 15 years and start making a plan.
You can't make a plan if you don't have a goal.
Oh, man, I like this. See, that's a good slogan. Put that up on the wall. We did a preseason poll here at KOTN. You guys were picked last. Does that make you mad at me? What do you want to bring it? You're allowed to yell at me if you want.
I'm not mad. Just I like flying under the radar, being the underdog, and nobody knows what our building looks like. Nobody knows how our guys have been working. And you add 37 guys to your roster, nobody really knows what your roster is.
Yeah, it is harder to evaluate teams in the offseason in this world than it used to be. I will say it's why I've been running a preseason poll for the Big Ten, because the Big Ten stopped doing it. I've been running it since 2011. You can't prove the doubters wrong if you don't have doubters.
Exactly.
Right? So like I'm here to provide a service, right?
You have added to the chip on the shoulder, that's for sure.
And,
I appreciate it.
We are here for you to shove that poll down our throats. I will come to West Lafayette and you can take that pole and rip it up and like shove the confetti down my throat at the end of the year, man.
Don't need to do all
but
that.
That's not why you're here. You're not here to prove a poll wrong. But I think it makes sense to me. A defensive identity, right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw what your defensive identity as a coach can be, right? We saw it. It's not overnight, but you didn't just wait for it.
Right.
You didn't just think, we'll be better in year 2.
Right.
Like you will be better in year 2, but you also attacked it. So I actually think there's a lot percolating at Purdue right now. Yeah,
no, like I said, for a team that went 4-8 last year, like the confidence is really, really high in the building. And it's because I feel like everybody knows what we're capable of, and they're willing to work to go get it. And that has been seen through spring and through the summer, training and conditioning. So like I said, man, like we've got all the boxes checked on, good teams do X, Y, Z, like they're doing it. And so now it's just a matter of going out and executing on game day.
I want to ask you one question about your quarterback room before I let you go. I also like what you guys have done there. It's like you bring in a guy, like Hudson Card's a guy, he's been through the wars, you know what's up. I think there's a leap for him potentially in year 2 at Purdue, but then you have younger guys behind that, right? That you're recruiting yourselves. Like, can you talk about your room? Because I kind of like how your room's set up.
Yeah, obviously, what people don't understand about Hudson, like even though he's an older guy, last year was his first year as a full-time starter at the position, and you add that first with brand new program, new coaches, new teammates, new conference, new scheme. No, he was year 1.
Yep.
And so you usually see a big jump year 1 to year 2. I think back to Joe Burrow, first year at LSU. It was not good. Second year was legendary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Hudson Card is Joe Burrow, but I'm glad he's our quarterback. And then we got Ryan Brown and Bennett Meredith, older guys. Ryan will be a sophomore, athletic, long. He's got a strong arm, but really is athletic on the ground. Then we added Marcos Davila, who's got a cannon. Was a highly recruited kid coming out of West Texas, and he was enrolled in the spring as well, and sort of force fed him some reps to get him caught up, and so it'll be fun to watch that competition. Who's going to be the second guy?
Yeah.
This fall, but I do think the future is bright in that room.
I've watched that spring game, man. I'm excited about. There's some interesting young quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Man, Davila's on my list, brother. Woo! I mean, you got some real guys there, but you have to build a room,
absolutely,
anymore, right? And you can't. I think you have to be strategic in every position in the portal, but especially at quarterback. I mean, you can get into a world where you're trying to pick the portal quarterback of the year. That's a dangerous world.
It is, because a lot of those guys are one and done. You know what I mean? So,
yep. And you end up potentially resting an entire season on that. And if you're wrong, you're in trouble.
Exactly.
So you can go do it at times. Everybody's going to.
Yeah.
I mean, you look, Oregon did it this year and Ohio State did this year, but I like the way you guys are going about it, that you have that there, but you have something underneath.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right.
No doubt.
He's Ryan Walters. He's out to prove the KOTN poll wrong. That's not why they're doing what they do, but they might wind up proving the poll wrong anyway. Thank you for joining us here on Kings of the North.
I appreciate it, man.